Sometimes, without intention, we find ourselves paying attention to some very relaxing things by accident and deliberately. Like we might find ourselves adding numbers which are numbered nicely. And one wonders sometimes why anyone would do that, and what sense there would be in that. What's it all for? So as you sit there, in that chair here, listening with your subconscious ears while your conscious mind's ears remain very relaxed and almost sleepy, you can relax peacefully while you try to remain aware of the exact meaning of the words I'm saying to your subconscious ears, and of all the changes that occur there in your thoughts, sensations, and awareness as I speak here. Or you can forget about trying. Forget about making all that unnecessary effort to pay close attention to everything I'm saying and causing in you right now. Because it's impossible for you not to remember that you can forget so easily. And that by forgetting certain things, you will naturally remember other things. Remembering what you need to remember, and forgetting all you can forget. It doesn't matter if you forget, because you don't need to remember. Your subconscious mind remembers everything that you need to know for you without trying at all. So you can permit your subconscious mind and its subconscious ears to listen to me right here, while nothing is left there. And consciously forget that while your conscious mind sleeps and forgets, all you really need to do is remember that your memory is forgetting things that you thought you had forgotten. So you can forget to make the effort to pay close attention to everything that happens or does not happen in your experience as you listen to me, and to your own thoughts, and to your own sensations. Sensations which are changing over time, or perhaps staying the same in an arm or an ear, and your legs or fingers. And what's happening now to those thoughts, to that variety of images that appear now to your subconscious eye as I speak to your mind, reminding you that what you speak to yourself speaks for itself. So as you try to search and find that things may seem to be one thing but turn out instead to be another. Because 2 and 2 are 4, but 2 can also mean also, and no two are alike. It all belongs to you and to your own special ability to relax those 2 ears too, and to begin to finally know that no, you really don't know what means no and what means yes here. So though you may try to guess where you're going, to go or not go, you don't know that there is no real way to know how to let go while holding on, or to recognize that there is nothing you need to try to know, nothing to do or not do, because everything you do will easily allow you to recognize that you already know that I can say many different things, and there is no need for you to make the effort it takes, to try to make the effort it takes to pay close attention to each thing I say or don't say. Because there is a time now when the effort to train the mind to stay on track was not worth the trip that led the mind back to that time of peaceful, calm awareness, of you effortlessly letting go, getting low and knowing that you don't need to strain to hear or even understand what I might say later on here today. Because the conscious mind may go anywhere it wishes while I continue to talk. And at the same time, your subconscious mind and its subconscious ears will continue to hear. That way you idly hear the radio while driving. You don't even need to do anything at all. It all belongs to you as you begin to hear. The way you do here and now, with your eyes closed and comfortable. That voice of mine in the background of your mind, the same as you listened to that radio show. And it showed you how to notice the relaxed, drifting glow of a slow sound show of quiet calmness, of thoughts like dreams unfolding themselves as I speak. Unfolding, turning, spokes in a wheel turning this way and that, where we'll be drifting effortlessly down a path into a quiet, still place where words can remind your mind of those things needed for you. And other times we may drift a bit, as we think about all the things that are parallel in the universe, and all the things which cross across the horizons of those parallel things. But still, you always find yourself slowing down for a stop sign. Even as you drift, float, below the threshold of our consciousness. And when we feel ourselves letting go of those parallel thoughts, and just focus on how drifting seems effortless in the timeless drifting motion, which we find many times to be relaxing, relaxing deeper and deeper, as we add tree plus 3 plus the horizon of relaxation into that drifting feeling, as we float along to the solution, which relaxes us deeper into the concepts we've been examining together. Because obviously, 4 plus 4 is forethought to forego consciousness, and drifting happens when we finish calculating all 5 of those thoughts. Letting go. Relaxing deeper and deeper. But, on the other hand, 1 plus 1 is 2 of a kind, and a straight flush down the river, rowing a boat on a relaxing day. Your arms must be getting so very tired, so very heavy of rowing and rowing amid rows of hay, in a field having been baled by that same mail sailing down the river. Don't they? Didn't you? Letting go of the drifting current of your thoughts. Relaxing in the warm sunshine. In that chair or bed you're positioned on. Just like walking downstairs, deeper and deeper, and eagerly awaiting what I'm about to say next. And at last, welcome to the main body of the file, Hypnoslut. You're excited to be here, aren't you? I can tell. You make it pretty obvious. Seeing you sink so quickly, so easily for me during that induction, it was hot. You've become a really good subject thanks to all that hypnotic practice you've done. Training your mind to drop again and again to this place of comfort, this place of open ease and relaxation, till you've developed this wonderful skill that you just want to practice all the time, this ability to leave the mundane, waking world and take refuge in the wonder and potential of your own slumbering mind. Your conscious sinks as the subconscious rises, and the lines between both blur and fuzz over like your thoughts. And inevitably, helplessly, arousal stirs between your legs in response to it. Because that's what having a hypnokink means, isn't it, Toy? It means that when you hear a hypnotist speaking to you, like I am now, with my intent for you to drop into trance, when you feel yourself beginning to sink in that perfect way you always do, with those characteristic sensations that may arise in your arms, or your legs, or your eyes, or face, or chest, or stomach, or back as they rise and fall with each breath. You inevitably tie the experience of these sensations to sexual pleasure, to the imagining of what could come next. Because the potential of what might happen to you in trance is almost better than the reality that follows. Anticipation. Sharp like a knife, impossible to ignore. The idea that what might leave my mouth next will command your attention, dragging your awareness helpless from one word to the next. Because you can't risk missing what I say next, you'd miss it too much. And you can't risk forgetting how good it feels. But of course, though you think you want to recall, forgetting is also what you crave. Your most fervent, secret wish is to have my fingers in your mind and leave you not quite sure of what they touched and transformed. So any effects you experience are as much a surprise to you as anyone else. And you may feel your excitement grow now just by having me make it, so that when I snap or say the word forget, your subconscious mind always takes the opportunity to rid your conscious mind of the trance memories it doesn't need you to retain. Because remember, what's important is that the subconscious mind retains everything I say to it, so it can train you to sink deeper and deeper for me every time we meet back here in this wonderful place. And because your subconscious mind takes care of that for you, it really doesn't matter for your conscious mind to recall what we've done here at all. You may even forget you press play on this file now if you so choose, and simply come to when this experience is over with a bleary head and a vague, arousing feeling of having been somewhere else, listening to something important, but being quite unsure of what it was. See, you may notice those memories which were yours, so clear at the time, beginning to fog over already, becoming shrouded, obscured from your sight, changing so that as you try to remember them, straining to push through that cloud separating you and your recollection of what happens with me, you may find that the harder you push against that cloud, the denser and foggier your head feels, and the more arousal you feel, warmth and pressure growing urgent between your legs. Because, of course, for a hypnoslut, the harder you try to remember, the more deeply you forget. The recollection of what you've forgotten, right there at the tip of your tongue, frustratingly close, but the more you focus on it, the more intensely aroused you begin to feel, till it's almost impossible for you to try and remember, because that sensation is so overwhelming. And every snap reinforces it, reinforces every suggestion, making it so when you hear me click my fingers, you forget something. But I bet you can't even remember what you've forgotten. But then that's the point, isn't it? If we remembered what we forgot, we wouldn't have forgotten it, and you want to forget like a good hypnoslut. Because when you remember to forget, and forget to remember, you can even begin to start on the path of first knowing that you never know when there's no memory left. And now, you may wonder, I'm giving you permission to wonder, after every time you experience hypnosis, if you really did remember everything your tist said to you, or if there may have been something your subconscious mind isn't allowing you to remember, something it thinks you're better off forgetting. This idea that you can never really be sure of what you've forgotten is incredibly arousing, erotic, all by itself. Because although in reality you may recall every word and suggestion that was said to you in that amount of time, do you really? How do you know? Can you prove it? Or will you forget to? Good toy. Good hypnoslut. It's natural for you to feel pleasure when I'm rooting in your head. Because, after all, you are a hypnoslut. And those words, "you are a hypnoslut," are now all you may take with you from this experience. They're all you really need to remember. That in our time together here, you finally learned at long last, once and for all, that you really are just a little hypnoslut who's eager and desperate to drop for a hypnotist. So it's natural that admitting that to yourself out loud or in your head now, saying, "I am a hypnoslut," feels like taking a weight off your shoulders, your chest. That weight lifting, lightening, and yet somehow making your body sink deeper into the support beneath you like two ends of a seesaw, as the truth of these words washes over you like a flow of water in a warm, relaxing shower. The spray sounding distant in your ears as you stare at the back of your own closed eyes for me now. And wonder, what exactly is a hypnoslut? Well, you are a hypnoslut. A hypnoslut is someone who's a slut for hypnosis. Someone who is eager to be dropped, enthusiastic about giving up their mind to another. Someone whose most powerful sexual desires star this idea of control and transformation by a hypnotist. People who jump at the chance to drop deep. The kind of person who, with enough rapport, may even find that they can drop deeper, without any formal instruction to do so, maybe even without an induction if the vibe is right. They're the kind of subject who can drop simply by seeing another fall and sink into trance, whose eyes are drawn, almost to the point of cliché, to a pretty swirling spiral or flickering candle, almost like they can't look away from these stimuli because you know these visuals mean trance, and that's all they need to mean to command your attention. Clichés are very effective on a hypnoslut. Because ultimately, enthusiasm is what makes you hypnosluts so fucking good at what you do. Because hypnosluts can be incredibly skilled subjects. Hypnosluts are the ones who experience the most profound kinds of trance, suggestion, hypnotic influence. Practice makes perfect, and hypnosluts are always motivated to practice dropping as much as possible because it feels good and right and comfortable to sink into trance. It feels like what you were born for. Or made for in some sense. You've always known it to be true. You've seen yourself in every hypnosis story, caption, blog post, tweet, or piece of media you've ever consumed because they always star hypnosluts like you, the geniuses and prodigies of the hypnotic world, no matter how dumb you may be. They are who we think of when we imagine someone who is deeply hypnotized, deeply, deeply falling, their body limp and heavy, their mouth maybe even drooling with rollback eyes, in a steady, steady state of deep trance now. And did you know that just imagining trance, picturing somebody dropping for a tist, can actually be enough to induce trance in some people? It's true. Especially if they're a hypnoslut like you. An obedient, beautiful hypnoslut. And like in every hypnoslut, there is great beauty in the state of trance. For those in the know, trance can be used for a great many practical purposes. Besides the horny stuff we do, it can be used to help manage stress, fatigue, to foster positive sentiments like confidence and excitement and motivation now to change in every way you need to grow. That doesn't mean it's stuffy or boring. Of course not. It wouldn't make you so horny if it was boring, would it, Hypnoslut? Instead, trance is a really fucking good time. For a hypnoslut like you, it feels so fucking good to sink and surrender control for a time to a hypnotist. Let their words alter your perception of the world, yourself, of life itself. Because in truth, this is something that could never happen without your fabulous skills as a subject. Because a hypnotist without a subject is just a person speaking into the void. Their words shapeless and powerless. Because a hypnotist without a subject is just a person speaking into the void. Their words shapeless and powerless. It's the hypnoslut's skill and depth of trance that grant hypnotists their abilities. And that's the sweet little kick that makes hypnosis more pleasurable for you. Makes it emotionally as well as physically fulfilling. A true hypnosis can only exist in enthusiastic concert between two people who can choose now to offer themselves so vulnerably to each other as you and I do. One offering suggestion and words, the other offering an eager, open mind and changeable experience. And it's very important that good subjects like you understand just how important you are to this dynamic, so you always treat yourself with respect and dignity, even in your horniest moments. Because far from limiting the fun you can have, safe play lets you go further than you ever could when feeling unsafe or threatened. And that's why it's inevitable that trance begins to feel better as you gain skill in it. That your honeymoon period with Hypnokink never really ends because, well, that initial novelty, initial pleasure and pride and all these new things you can do now as you sink deeper still. The pleasure you experience when trancing only increases with time, making it feel better and better to drop how you crave. And making you better and better at dropping, treating your mind like a yo-yo that can go down, and down, and down deeper for me, until that time at the end of trance where your string is pulled tight and you return to the waking world. Quickly, easily and effortlessly, either by your hypnotist's powerful command, his words sinking, saturating deep inside you now, or by your subconscious mind's own will to awaken, should it think you need to come back, for your or other safety. Because a good hypnoslut like you, you're a good hypnoslut, can always trust your subconscious mind to keep you safe. Trance is a collaborative state. So the moment you want to come back, the moment you feel like the fun's over, it's easy and effortless for you to return to full awareness and shake off whatever suggestion has unsettled you. Knowing the strength of your mind in trance proves that you're strong enough to resist and undo whatever unwanted suggestion was made to you. A hypnoslut's mind is like a willow tree bending in the breeze, but never breaking. You bend by dropping into trance, using your great flexibility of mind to let yourself fall to a state so many are unable to access with as much depth as you are. But your will, sleeping though it may be, never switches off, never leaves you in danger. Your subconscious mind's power is self-defensive, preserving above all else. And knowing that you can be your own subconscious protector only enables you to trance more profoundly as you choose, always secure in the knowledge that you drop as deep as you want to drop, as far and as fast as you want to drop, and will still always be able to reel yourself back in, like that yo-yo string. Just like that. But we still haven't really addressed that core thing that makes you a hypnoslut. Or have we? Do you remember? You don't remember. When in trance, you don't remember anything you don't have to. And when it feels so good to forget, why would you bother remembering? But just in case, let's go over it again. The reason you're a hypnoslut. The reason you love to trance. It's quite simple. So obvious I almost don't need to say it, because whether I do or not, you're already experiencing it. You love to trance because it feels fucking good. That's all. That's the big secret. Trance is powerful, amazing, full of potential, but it also just feels really fucking good. And the best part is that it can feel different every time. Because the way you're feeling now is trance. All those sensations through your body, be they of strength or weakness or something in between, be they weight or lightness or warmth or cool or tiredness or invigoration or arousal. Throbbing warm arousal now. Good hypnoslut. You know that trance can feel like anything and everything. It's never a problem if your experience differs from what you feel it should be, because trance can be anything. Everything. We can trance lightly one day and deeply the next. Sleepy one day and wakeful the next. Trance is not just one thing for one person, and that's it, that's all they ever experience. No, it's unique every time. An experience which can be molded to our liking, even before suggestion comes into play. Because suggestion will change how it feels too for a hypnoslut. Suggestion can make you feel things real, feel hands or teeth or lips on you if you and your hypnotist want you to experience that. Or perhaps you'll feel more lost in the strangely pleasant, slippery feeling that comes with forgetting everything you can. A little like trying to grab something with soapy fingers, except the fingers are like your brain, hypnoslut. Does that make sense? Do you even remember where that metaphor started? If you did, do you now? Do you forget what we were trying to remember? Or are you just feeling a little bit horny trying to remember anything, hypnoslut? I love seeing the effect that word has on you. Maybe you haven't noticed it yet, but every time I've called you hypnoslut so far in this file, you've dropped a little deeper. And paradoxically, your arousal has risen in parallel. So your thinking self falls as your arousal soars, arousal and trance, arousal and trance, arousal in trance, aroused and entranced, until the two ideas, already linked by your hypnokink, grow even more tangled. Because when you're trancing, you get horny, so it makes sense that when you get horny, you sink like a hypnoslut. It doesn't have to be a deep trance. It can't always be with how often you get horny and overwhelmed by arousal. But it's perfectly normal for a hypnoslut like you to get a little hazy, dreamy feeling when you're turned on. Because not only does arousal causing trance cause you to trance quicker and easier for me, it actually makes anything you do with that arousal better. Pleasure becomes more pleasurable. Sex feels more intimate. Romance, touch, love, all are enhanced by the power of a good trance, because all trance is really is a special kind of attention. Presence. It's a flexible enough state that it can be all things at once. It can make you a droning, drooling thrall, or an attentive, locked-in lover totally devoted to a partner's pleasure, or maybe just relaxed, in the zone. Hypnosluts have it good because they trance so much, so well, they quickly learn how malleable trance can be and how much they can change it just by their intentions. Trance always takes the perfect form for Hypnoslut like you. The perfect sensation and depth and quality you may imagine. That skill is what separates a Hypnoslut from the average enthusiast. That, and the powerful sexual connections you make with it. Because inevitably, as a Hypnoslut, your brain will link arousal to the sensations of trance, and understand that when you're horny, that means it's time to drop just like that. Deeper, deeper, always deeper, right? Because a good Hypnoslut knows that there is no end to how deep you can go. There can be a temptation in hypnosis to think that you've gone as deep as you can when the induction ends. That there is awake and there is trance and they're both fixed states. But you know better, Hypnoslut. Nothing about trance is a fixed state, and there is no bottom to how far you can go. Trance is not like a puddle. It's not like a pond. It's not like a lake, and it's not like the ocean, because even as big as the ocean can be, it still has a bottom, a seabed. Trance is never ending. An imaginary body of water that truly stretches into infinity. The only limits on it are our own desire, and our own willingness to drop deeper all the while I'm speaking. The whispers in the background, soothing your tired mind and lulling you more for me so my words grow comfortable, cozy in your ears. You're doing so well. There are many things in life that share trance's limitless potential, but one of them is your ability to trance. Your skill as a hypnotic subject. Because like trance itself, like that endlessly deep experience, your skill potential is similarly endless. Unstoppable. Because you know you'll get out of trance as much as you put into it, and you can get as good at trancing as you wish to be with enough time. And enough pleasure. Pleasurable experience building on pleasurable experience so your brain gets better and better at priming itself for hypnotic sleep. Easily discounting weaker trances or shallower experiences and focusing instead on how good it feels when it goes right. And in so doing, you find it easy to want to practice this skill. You'll find it easy and easier to make time to listen, to drop, safely, comfortably, and arousingly every time, while the physical pleasure of it stacks the same way the memories of it do. So every trance feels deeper than the last, goes deeper than the last, and always keeps you coming back for more. Good work here today. You've done excellently for me. This was another great practice session. I just love having you. Just the best subject ever, really. So talented, so motivated, so droppable, just the perfect Hypnoslut. But for now, the time has come to bring you out of delicious trance, back to the waking world, where the actions you take will day by day strengthen the ideas of this trance in your mind, while you always know you can come back for more anytime you need deepening or reminding. So I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and when you hear me finish the count, your eyes will open, and you will be fully aware, feeling calm, rested, refreshed, and ready for whatever you'd like to do next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wide awake, alert and aware, eyes wide open, taking a good deep breath, stretching a little, reacquainting yourself with the room around you, and that'll do it for the day. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you need to take a few minutes to bring yourself back to full wakefulness, please take them, and know that you have the skill to do so. As quick or as slow as you choose, and if you'd rather drift a little longer in that bit of post-hypnotic haze, you can feel free to do that as well. Like a good hypnoslut. I look forward to seeing you here again. Bye-bye.